Saturn Nika punched off the giant ship, moments from hitting the water. Emet distracting 2 of the 5 elders and preparing to use that. The Sunny mid-fall about to hit the waves. And the 12 major players in the fight to find the One Piece clearly defined. We return from a break week for another first reaction and review to One Piece Chapter 1122, The Time is at Hand. We start off with the cover page of Shonen Jump that's coming out. And surprising to me, you'd think it would be Olympics themed, but it seems to be hip-hop or breakdancing themed, so it's cool, I guess. And to the chapter proper, instead of continuing the cover story, we're getting a cover request, which is neat. Yamato's very slow journey around Wano can be put on hold, and we get a recreation, apparently, of a fan art that was submitted 22 years ago. I'm sure some of the other One Piece reviewers will find the original, but yeah, Smoker looks really cool. And it made me just realize that he wasn't in the list of 12 last chapter. So, okay, now into the contents of the chapter. Vegapunk, still on screen, stunningly. And we see just crowds reacting to what he was saying. The fate of the world depends on pirates. Is this a place that I recognize? No, not immediately. Hold on a sec. What is this madness, Vegapunk? No way will our country sink too. The Navy has to do something. We're getting all, like, we first cut to a tropical, it looks like a tropical environment with palm trees and, you know, people that are shirtless wearing very beach or islander sort of clothing. And then we cut to the opposite side of the world, which is snowy. Well, I say opposite side of the world, but this is One Piece. Like, a snowy island and a summer island could be right next to each other. But yes, they're all rugged up, looking like they're covered in a snowy mountain. And then we cut to what I'm assuming is probably Hachinosu, because there's a bunch of pirates. The world's greatest genius just said it's real. Let's go get it. The One Piece is out there. I kind of, like, look, this reaction is not what I'd expect, really, because, you know, Whitebeard confirmed it already 2 years ago. So, yeah, okay, Vegapunk is not a pirate, I guess. So maybe that adds a extra level of validity to his words. And now we're seeing the prisoners of Impel Down. It's about time we pirates ran the show. Rah! The world's gonna sink anyways, leave some for us. Yeah! The government won't know what hit them. Why are you letting them hear the message? Every snail in the prison is playing it and we can't stop them. How could you, Vegapunk? We're seeing a bunch of vice admirals. And we see Kobe, Luffy-san, we're getting is it a redraw? I wonder if it's Oda redrawing it or if they've just blown up some of the original panels, but it's a flashback to Chapter 2, where Kobe and Luffy first met, and we're saying, King of the Pirates, but you'd have to make the whole world kneel to you. Don't tell me you're after the One Piece. So Kobe is thinking of Luffy right now. Oh, I have to stop you from achieving your dream. Golly, that's exciting. I can't remember off the top of my head what Kobe said to Luffy, whether he was like encouraging him. It's like, yes, I know our dreams will put us in opposition, but did he still like sort of support Luffy's dream? But now he's like, oh, okay, after what Vegapunk said, no, I have to stop you now. Like, I have to directly interfere with your dream. Now we cut to Buggy. Why are you dummies calling it my world now? You don't really want that, right? All his pirates are, Chairman Buggy. Buggy that says, it's our world, ain't it? And all his pirate crew are misinterpreting it. They're going, Chairman Buggy, we'll follow you to the depths of hell, because they're obviously misinterpreting him being like, no, it's not my world, it's a Crocodile and Mihawk's world as well, and please, I'm not the leader of this. And they're all like, oh no, he wants it to be for all of us. We love you, Buggy. And he is crying as Crocodile tells him to sit down. We cut to some of the Blackbeard pirates. What shall we do, Teach? We could just kill him. Caribou. Commodore Teach, I'm sure my information will please you. So yeah, we're seeing, I always forget the Blackbeard Pirates crew names, but yes, they've got our Swamp Man in contact with Blackbeard. And Blackbeard, smart, bring him to me. I'll put him down if his info is a dud. Okay, Vegapunk talking once again. That is the truth. Bzz, Joy Boy. He, bzz, and we're cutting to a frame of Topman smashing into Emet. And the pirates are shouting, Iron Giant! I think we see the transponder snail getting knocked out inside of Emet and an explosion going on behind it. And, oh no, not going on behind it. No, his shell has exploded. So this is truly the end of the transmission. So there may have been a bit more for Vegapunk to say. But yeah, no. I think the inside of the Iron Giant, which, looking inside it, you see a little bit behind the snail, and there's all this tech, and it's like generic tech background. So, but yes, the beating that Emet is enduring has knocked out the snail, caused its worldwide communicator, or whatever it's called, to explode. Thankfully, the snail still looks alright. And, okay, we're seeing the Sunny flying. The horse geezer is back. Do something, Zoro. We're seeing Ethan, St. Ethan, his sword getting ready to be drawn again. And he's chasing after the Straw Hats. And Zoro also has his hand on his blade. And the Chopper, Usopp, and Nami, they are not very pleased. Okay, we see Emet. I'm sorry, Joy Boy. And I'm going to reiterate what I said a couple of weeks back, but I think the major thing that's going to happen on Egghead, like, yes, it shook the world, Vegapunk's transmission, but I think one of the elders is going to die, potentially. I hope it's Saturn. I might also be wrong completely, but if Emet is going to do something that potentially destroys an elder, that would be pretty cool. But yes, Emet, I'm sorry, Joy Boy. We hear the giant robot. Huh? Okay, sorry, the text bubbles seem to be in weird positions. But Luffy shouts out the giant robot, then he says ha, and then there's a bubble for, I want to apologize to you two too. I knew that there was no chance he would still be alive. Did you mistake me for someone else, Luffy says. You look just like him, it was nostalgic. My feelings from that day came rushing back. I hope Joy Boy forgives me. Where is Saturn right now? Because we get a panel of Saturn, but he seems to be like coming together, but we're not seeing where he is. Like, we can't tell if he's in the water or anything. Hopefully the next panel elucidates it. And Emet says, I failed to make him king. Whoa, the giant worm, yet we're seeing... Oh, wait, what? Saturn is back on land. We didn't see him hit the water. Oda, you tease. There's no way he fell off the edge of the giant ship and, like, flew backwards to land. Oda. But either way, Emet is now standing... Well, it's pretty hard to tell where Ethan is compared to the rest of them, but Emet is standing in front of Big Worm, Big Boar, and Big Spider, and Ethan seems to be nearby as well. You know, who's got to do something big. But yes, Emet, I failed to make him king. Whoa, the giant worm! This is bad, we're going to sink, because it looks like, oh, what's his name? I always forget the worm's name. Jupiter. He's looking like he's about to lunge forward and, like, try and eat the giant ship or something. And Luffy says, King? And Emet asks for his name, and Luffy, classic, I monkey D. Luffy, the man who's going to be king of the pirates. And Emet looks like he grabs something from his body, pulls it out, it looks like a rope. He says, hey, Luffy. And the Marines start to pass out. Conqueror's Haki, thank you. You let me hear that nostalgic rhythm one last time. Don't die, I won't let you die. And a massive amount of Conqueror's Haki. Oh, sorry, no, so what's happened? Emet has pulled, there's a tied knot that he's pulled. And then when it unties, that's when the Conqueror's Haki starts to go ballistic. And we're seeing a zoomed out image of the aftermath. Like, this is like Shanks level. Like, it's expanding far, far beyond the reaches of the island. It's causing shockwaves. That's how much Conqueror's Haki is in there. Maybe this is the original Joy Boy's Haki, and he could somehow imbue it into this knot, and when you untie the knot, it gets released. I don't know. But yes, we're seeing so many Marines passing out, all absolutely getting rocked by this shockwave. Some of the Vice Admirals, I think that's Bluegrass. She's like, oh, what is this Haki? It's so strong. Who's causing it? Pretty much everyone's out except for the Vice Admirals. And then it looks like Saturn's turn to face Ethan. Sorry, my eyes moved to the panel below. But, okay. So the Haki that's coming out of Emet seems to revert the forms of the 4 remaining elders. So we see all 4 of them, Ethan, Topman, Saturn, and Jupiter. And Jupiter's in a bit of a weird position because he's diving over, his body's arched, and so he transforms back into the air. And then we cut to Mary Joie, where Marcus Mars, who was already launched into the sky by Luffy previously, is just sort of sitting there going ... And we see the summoning circles and the smoke reappearing in Mary Joie. So I guess I was wrong. No elders died, sadly. Not even Saturn. And yes, they all look quite tired. And they say, huff, huff. Even Walkyrie's on one knee. And Marcus Mars is just looking at them like, huh, oh no. And this is interesting. Emu is on their hands and knees, and then there's someone running towards them saying, "Great Emu." So it's not just the 5 elders who know who Emu is, and Emu's not very happy. I mean, it's hard. It's always the same eyes, same expression, but they're shaking, shivering, huffing, and puffing, and going, "Joy Boy." So I think just feeling Joy Boy. So I'm assuming that is Joy Boy's Haki that came out of that untied knot. We cut back to the Sunny, which lands in the water safely. Luffy says, "Glad you guys made it." Luffy, "What happened to those monsters? No idea, they disappeared. The giants, what in the world? A robot with Haki, how did they make them vanish?" Usopp and Chopper grabbing onto Jinbei. "We did it, we landed safely." "Are you okay, Nami-san?" That's Sanji calling out. It's like, "I'm fine, but Atlas and Edison." Saturn is still on the island. Saturn is still on the island. He might die. I might be right. And he's standing in front of Emet and is huffing and puffing. Did he not have enough energy because he took that beating from Bonnie and Luffy? Yes, he's holding his cane. He's staring. And listen up, Emeth. The time is at hand. We're seeing a flashback of Emeth, and yeah, he's still a robot. He's not some dude that transformed into a robot. Well, maybe he still is, but we see the silhouette of the original Joy Boy talking to Emet. The time is at hand. The time. I'm going to gather my most powerful Haki and seal it inside you. And we see the silhouette of a straw hat. I won't say the straw hat. And it's a bit hard to gather the scale of how big Joy Boy is here. Because we get a side profile and then we get a face shadow. "You're bound to live much longer than me. I'm not going to always be around to help." And Emmet's just saying, "Oh, that sounds terrible. At some point, you're going to be in mortal danger, or someone you want to save will be. When that happens, untie the knot. So when the time is at hand, you'll still be there to help." And Joy Boy is raising his hands to the sky. "That's right. Whenever it happens, I'll be saving you from here in the past, just like always." And Emmet's so cute. He's got smiley eyes and a note, a happiness note thing. And he's like, oh, that makes me happy, thanks. Now it doesn't matter if you're dead. It will be like you are still with me. Hey, that's not going to happen for ages. Ages and ages. I hope I don't get lonely. Hee 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 hee. But Saturn. Okay. That's the end of the chapter. And there is a break next week, but it's not a Oda, I'm taking another break. It's a magazine break. So Shonen Jump will be taking a break next week, which is unfortunate. Such a tease, but okay. I'm gonna do my scan again. Yes, Vegapunk's message, who cares? I still find it very interesting that Kobe is directly stopping Luffy from achieving his dream. Or he's now got the goal of directly stopping Luffy from achieving his dream. I'm actually very quickly going to jump and look at chapter 2. And I'm going to see when the exact panel... Yeah, I want to become Pirate King. Are you telling me that you're looking for the world's greatest treasure, the One Piece? You want to die or something? Impossible, impossible. Luffy punches him in the face. This is me reading Chapter 2. Chapter 2 reaction. Yeah, Luffy, I know it means we'll be enemies, but joining the Marines and catching the bad guys has always been my dream. Yeah, so he's just saying you're gonna look for the One Piece, but he's not going directly. He says, yes, me being a Marine will put me in contention with you, because, Marines and pirates are against each other, but he doesn't say anything specifically about stopping Luffy from getting the One Piece. And now I'm gonna quickly look at Chapter 7. Thankfully, I've got a pretty good knowledge of the early One Piece chapters because of the videos I've been making on them. And if I look, and I think this one's a fan translation, this isn't the official translation. Yeah, I'm just reading when him and Luffy call each other friends, and he's saying, oh, I never had friends. You guys taught me to live my dream. Luffy says that they don't know, or Kobe says like, oh, I'm not with them, etc., etc. Luffy beats up Kobe, declares his dream is to become a member of the Marines. Thank you, I'll never forget you for the rest of my life. This is when they say goodbye to Kobe, and he salutes them. Yeah, no, there's nothing about him stopping him from getting the One Piece. I don't remember the exact chapter when they reunite, when Garp first makes his appearance, but yeah, so it is pretty significant that Kobe is now like, okay, Luffy's my friend, but now I have to stop you from achieving your dream. Yeah, it's big, but not really much to say on Teach saying like, yeah, no, bring Caribou to me. I want to know what he has to say, and we know that Caribou has knowledge of the location of at least one of the ancient weapons. Does he also know that Pluton is in Wano? He might. I can't remember that off the top of my head either. But yes, Emet unties the knot, that's interesting. How does he say, I'm going to gather my most powerful haki and seal it inside you? So that the fact that he had this sort of conqueror's haki bomb imbued into a knot. I want to see Luffy do that sort of thing. Can he imbue his haki into something and then release it? Is this an ability that Luffy will have? I am very keen to see. I don't like that we got teased with Saturn falling into the ocean last chapter. Like, he's falling into the ocean. His back is about to touch water, and we don't see him land. And instead, the next time we see him, I'm just checking all the other panels just to make sure. Is there any indicator at all that he teleported or something else happened? But the fact that we don't see him hit the water means that the pressing question of, is this a devil fruit or is this something else, remains unanswered. But I do like that Emet does eventually realize that yes, Luffy looks like Joy Boy, but he's not actually Joy Boy. I was saying last time that, yeah, Luffy has got a very strong sense of self. He doesn't want to be mistaken as something that he's not. He doesn't want to be called Nikki. He doesn't want to be called Joy Boy. He's like, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, the man who's going to be king of the pirates. I think the Conqueror's haki would have been a bit more impressive if we saw it knock out some of the Vice Admirals. Though it does, like, they do seem to be under pressure. Like, it's sort of when Green Bull reacted to Shanks' haki and they're like, oh dear, this is not good. But I do find it interesting that Saturn didn't get teleported or whisked away. So there's two things to say. That this strong enough, okay, either there was an aspect of Joy Boy's haki, or the haki is strong enough that it could revert their demon forms, which is interesting in and of itself, but also the fact that it sort of teleported them back to Mary Joie. Like, you can see in the panels here, it looks like they're sort of dissolving, and then they reappear in a summoning circle. So is that Mars creating a summoning circle to save them, potentially? Or, like, he realized, oh crap, this haki could destroy them, better summon them back, but then Saturn doesn't get summoned back. Or could it be that Eam is ultimately the one responsible for the formation, like the physical forms of the Gorosei, and reacting to Joy Boy's haki, like she sort of like, well, I don't know why I said she, they forcefully brought them back. Either way, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of analysis of these panels. And it also indicates, okay, this is how we defeat them in their big demon forms. Like, your Conqueror's haki has to be so powerful, or bring on that aspect of Joy Boy's Conqueror's haki that it can revert their forms. So, big questions. I also want to know who this second person is in this frame where Imu's on their knees and someone rushes towards them and says, "Great Emu." Is it just like, does Emu have attendants of some sort, or do they have a wife or a husband, or like is like somebody else obviously knows about Emu? And it would make sense that you would have at least an attendant. Like I'm sure Emu wants or needs to eat. There's a lot of questions that require answering there. But yes, Straw Hats have now finally landed in the water after several weeks. And this isn't our first time seeing a silhouette of Joy Boy. I believe we saw one on Fishman Island when we see the Mermaid Princess, or when we heard his letter to the Mermaid Princess. But this is certainly several, and I think they're a bit more clear than they once were. But he's so silhouetted. Like you see his big straw hat, and he looks like he's wearing a big sort of like, pirate cloak. And Emet's so cute. So there's a very cute frame of Emet, but it is also interesting to know that it wasn't that Emet was like a human and then like they died and was put into a robot body, like their soul was put into a robot or anything like that. It's just, no, this is just who Emet is. Emet is a robot. I guess similar to Frankie. Frankie is a cyborg. But it is cute when he's like, okay, I'm always with you. And it's pretty significant that Emet's like, okay, this is like my last part of Joy Boy that I've carried with me for 900 years. I'm going to sacrifice it for this new person that reminds me of him, which is very sweet. And now it's very sad that he says, I hope I don't get lonely, because now it's he's not with me anymore. And it is also actually interesting to say that when Joy Boy talks about his death, that Emet's not like sad about, oh yeah, no, Joy Boy will die. Like that's it brings into that idea of inherited will. It's like I may die, and Emet knows, yeah, that's true, but you'll always be with me, and now I actually have this physical thing that you'll always be with me. But yes, the fact that Saturn is still on the island means my prediction is still on. Saturn needs to die. Though I am curious as to why he did not get transported back to Mary Joa with rest. So that needs to be explained. Maybe it was just he was still recovering from the Nika punches. I don't know. And the fact that he is in his human form and he is not reacting, he's huffing and puffing, is clearly at his weakest state right now. I'm very excited. Why does it have to be a magazine break next week? That's so very sad. But I guess that's the chapter. We see a lot of interesting stuff. I can't wait to watch other people's videos that go into a bit more depth and maybe catch some stuff that I missed. But either way, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.